Well, joining me on the news at 10 to analyze the performance of the nation's economy in 2016 is an economist, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa. I want to thank you so much indeed for coming on stage on the news at 10 at this time. Were you of high hopes, do you think, for the economy in 2016? Were you fulfilled or were you disappointed?
Well, there will be very few people who will be fulfilled with 2016. It didn't start too well anyway, and the hope was that we'll catch up for the traction we lost in 2015 after the new government came in, and we thought things were going to really move quickly, but it didn't go that way. And so we are going into 2017 hoping that we will really move much faster than we did in 2016 and catch up for a lot of lost ground, really.
What would you consider the biggest achievement of the government in 2016?
Perhaps it's outside the economy. Perhaps the fact that we are putting the war itself in the Northeast behind us and having a new scope for the economy is probably the most important achievement. You could say towards the end of the year, that's about 2 weeks ago, they were able to sign this landmark agreement to take us out of the joint venture cash calls, which was a major drain on our foreign exchange. So that again was significant. Then the oil subsidy that we seem to have got out of, we seem to because we might find ourselves getting back there if the oil price continues to rise and the government wants to try to prevent adjusting the price to reflect the current crude oil prices. So that's really what you can say. Of course, agriculture did quite well. We have to recognize that we did quite well in agriculture, and the outlook for agriculture is getting better. We expect next year that we will begin to see the real impact of the improvement in agriculture. But other than agriculture, the other sectors have been really struggling.
So what, in your view, are the biggest fault lines we had in 2016 concerning the economy?
Well, first is that we lost the opportunity to really take steps in areas that will, one, get in a lot of investments. Because for you to grow this economy, you need injection, significant injection of investments. And most of that is going to come from outside the government. So the role of government was to ensure that investors feel strong enough, confident enough to invest in the economy, both local and foreign investors. But a lot of actions we took did not create that confidence. And so you had the business community always talking about the operating environment, the ease of doing business. Because investors have investable funds around the world. They are always looking for countries to invest in. But whether they come to Nigeria or not, was because last year and next year will be because there are big questions about the operating environment.
But do you think that this government has laid the groundworks that will allow a prosperous growth in the economy as we enter into the new year?
Well, that groundwork is work in progress. We haven't done much, but we've done some things. One is the issue of the oil and gas industry, that the government seems now to be getting to accept that you need to make big changes. Two is agriculture is ramping up. Agriculture is growing. We can see it, we can see it, we can feel it, but it will take a while before you see food prices really coming down. And then you now say that the impact is there on the table. But clearly in 2016, the agriculture has overgone some major hurdles. First of all, the hurdle of understanding that agriculture is a very significant business. Initially, the commitment to agriculture as a business seems to be lagging behind what this government thought needed to be done. But as the government settled down, they saw that they needed to maintain the tempo from the previous administration in significant investment in agriculture by government and attracting significant investment, both local and foreign agriculture. Because that is where you will create, one, the food security, two, the raw materials for industries, three, the products you can export and earn foreign exchange to replace some of the oil and gas foreign exchange that we have lost.
In bringing this discussion to a close, what would you rather see going forward now that the government must to give a sense of direction for the economy?
First is consolidate what has been started with the oil and gas. After signing off the exit from the joint venture cash calls, which was draining the economy, you need to quickly consolidate that by incorporating the oil and gas companies and let them behave like the Nigeria LNG. They can go both local and foreign markets and raise their own funds rather than wait on the budgets to release annual or monthly cash calls to fund the oil and gas production, which was never viable. And it was a decision that should have been taken many years ago, but it's one of those things that was not done on time, but is done now. So we need to complete it, incorporate those companies so that they can operate on their own. They are in a very profitable business. Oil and gas is a profitable business. So you don't need to fund it from the government budget. That was a major situation that we happily have put behind us.
An economist, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, I want to thank you so much indeed for talking to us on the news at 10.
Thank you.